Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you like tech and helpful tips, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started!
That incessant, high-pitched chirp from a smoke detector can be one of the most maddening household sounds, especially when you can't pinpoint which device is the culprit. It often strikes in the middle of the night, adding to the frustration. The primary reason for a smoke detector chirping is a low battery, but sometimes it signals a fault with the unit itself or that it's reached its end of life. To effectively locate the source of this auditory annoyance, patience and a systematic approach are key. Begin by listening carefully. The chirp is intermittent, usually occurring every 30 to 60 seconds, which gives you a small window to identify its origin. When you hear the chirp, pause and try to determine the direction and general area it's coming from. Move slowly through your home, room by room, stopping in each area to listen intently for the next chirp. Pay close attention to ceilings and high walls where detectors are typically mounted. Sometimes, using a cardboard tube like a paper towel roll, held to your ear can help amplify and narrow down the sound's direction, much like a stethoscope. Walk directly under each detector you suspect. The sound will be loudest when you're closest to the source. Next, look for visual indicators. Many modern smoke detectors have an LED light that flashes to indicate operation or an issue. While a quick green flash usually means it's working correctly and receiving power, for hardwired units, a red or amber flash often accompanies the chirp, signaling a low battery or a fault. If you have multiple detectors, observe them during a chirp cycle. The one that flashes its LED concurrently with the chirp is very likely the one with the problem. Note that some older models might not have this visual cue, so relying solely on the sound becomes even more critical. If careful listening and visual checks haven't pinpointed the exact unit, consider a systematic battery removal. This method is most effective when you've narrowed the chirp down to a specific room or a cluster of detectors. For battery-powered units, carefully remove the battery from one detector, wait for a minute or two to see if the chirp stops. If it continues, replace the battery in that unit and move to the next one, repeating the process. The chirp should cease immediately once you remove the battery from the problematic device. For hardwired units with a battery backup, you'll need to first turn off the corresponding circuit breaker for that room or area at your electrical panel. Then remove the battery backup. If the chirp stops, you've found your culprit. Remember to restore power to all units once you've identified the source. Another common scenario is when you have interconnected hardwired smoke detectors. In these systems, if one unit detects a problem, it can signal all other units to sound an alarm. However, a low battery chirp is usually localized to the specific unit with the drained battery. If you suspect an interconnected system, and the chirp persists after checking individual battery backups, you might need to inspect the wiring or consider the age of the units. Smoke detectors have a lifespan of about 10 years, and an aging unit might start chirping even with good batteries, indicating it's time for replacement. Carbon monoxide, CO, detectors also chirp for low batteries or end of life. So ensure you're differentiating between a smoke detector and a CO detector if you have both. Often, CO detector chirps have a distinct pattern or accompanying visual display. Once you've identified the chirping unit, the solution is typically straightforward. Replace the battery immediately with a fresh, high-quality one. If it's a hardwired unit, ensure the battery backup is new and correctly installed, and check that it's receiving constant power. If the chirp persists after a battery replacement, try cleaning the unit with a vacuum cleaner attachment to remove dust and debris, as this can sometimes trigger false alarms or chirps. If none of these steps resolve the issue, and especially if the detector is over 10 years old, it's time to replace the entire unit. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more helpful home maintenance tips.